What's up guys, how's it going? Hope you're well. Just wanted to make a slightly longer video because a lot of my audience are university students and it's something I think we can all relate to when we were students and money was tight. So it's basically ways to be more smarter with money or ways to earn more money as a student, because I think it's a very difficult thing. Rather than making a list, actually I think of it like a tree, because there's a couple of different ideas but then you can go down different paths depending on kind of the time you have and whether you want to make this something long or short term. So I often hear people saying as a student that they need more money to clear their overdraft, that they're really struggling because of student finance, or they're not getting student finance either way, or perhaps that, you know, they just want to be more independent from their parents, or like whatever reason. But it's quite difficult sometimes that you need to get a job because either you have very limited time, or you have the opposite issue where you might have the time but because of your status as a student or something else you don't necessarily have the ability to work, as in employees won't list you for that kind of thing. They're looking for permanent staff, not flexible part-time staff. So this is something I completely understand. But to kick off this video, I would say the first branch of the tree, if you're looking to make serious money, if you're looking to try and clear an overdraft, if you're looking to actually support yourself while at uni, the best way forward, it has to be said, is a job. So yeah, sometimes that's difficult for people to digest because it can be difficult, like I said, to get a job while working, but it's definitely the best way to get secure, stable income and consistent as well out of all these ideas. So I would say get a job, and then this branch goes down different paths. So you can get like any old job, so you know, work in a supermarket, work in a warehouse, working in anything like that you can just find part-time work in. It could be something specific to your degree, so you will usually have to work maybe in your industry but under the level where you would graduate, which sounds obvious, but for example, if you're a lawyer, if you're studying law, you won't obviously be able to work in a firm as a lawyer or something, but maybe as like a clerk or something, you can work in that environment. Or maybe if you're like a medical student, you could work as like a staff nurse, not staff nurse, like a bank HCA, like a healthcare assistant, or maybe a vaccinator. The same goes if you're like a student nurse, anything healthcare related, dental people. If you're working in maths, you could work in maybe like a primary school as like a short-term teaching assistant, anything like that. Just see if you can do it, okay? In all degrees, you could probably work as a tutor in the level below you. So if you're in university, you could tutor A-levels, you could tutor GCSEs, that kind of thing. These things are great because you can build a portfolio, you can get qualifications, you can get DBS checked, and you can take that forward to other jobs. So these are perhaps a better branch of the job tree than perhaps the other side where you just kind of get any old job. But any job is good, especially if it pays you. But like I said, if you can get these jobs, the other side, you know, more specific to your degree, you can use that to build your portfolio more, make more connections, probably earn more money as well. So that's why I would say that branch is slightly better. The next branch is to make a business. So business, like I said, is another branch. So from here we get a couple of routes. So you could go down the route of just doing any old business. So maybe just buy something in Gumtree, sell it for a markup on Facebook Marketplace. If you're good at baking, if you're good at like any hobby like arts, crafts, that kind of thing, market it as an Instagram business. Again, the trade-off of this will be maybe you'll enjoy this more, but compared to a job, you'll probably bring in initially less income and you'll probably have to struggle a little bit to gain that consistency as well. So I would say that again, it just depends how much money you need and what you're really saving for, what your goals are as a student. So that's one branch of the business thing. The other branch of the business idea is you could market what you're doing at uni. So for example, if you're doing medicine, if you're doing law, if you're doing economics, if you're studying at a degree where or a university where people are really clamoring to get into, so like here in the UK it's Oxbridge, in America maybe it's somewhere like Harvard, Yale, that kind of thing. You could make some courses online how to get there. You could tutor people on how to get in. You can work with admissions companies, that kind of thing. And you might look at this idea and be like, that's such a stupid idea because so many people have already done it. But you have to look at what's already out there and then you have to see what can you bring that's different. So you might actually be able to think maybe, well, you know, there's a lot of courses out there, but a lot of them are charging money, so maybe mine will be free. You could look at other things. So potentially instead, if you haven't quite got to that stage and you're applying, like you're a pre-med student or university applicant, you could document your entire journey before you've started in the hopes that you get there and just share it with people, that kind of thing. There's always so many things you can do with that one. So use your advantages. And again, like I said, these are more long-term ideas. They might you know, they probably will make more money than the jobs in the long term. But in the short term, if you're really struggling to pay your overdraft, probably aren't going to make a lot of money from this one, okay guys? So I would say just be careful with that one. The next thing to do, I would say, is to be more smart with how you purchase things. So what you could do is you could use credit cards, you could use buy now pay later, things like Klarna or ClearPay, okay? Now when I say this, you know, you should be ideally purchasing things that you really need. So don't just use this to buy things that you don't really need, like clothes or things like that, that you just kind of, everyone has hobbies, everyone has vices. I wouldn't necessarily say splitting payments for these things. Maybe if you have to buy like a laptop or something, getting a credit card is a great way. You know, look into the different types of credit cards. So there's some that are great for just building up cash back, that kind of thing. Some are great for if you make an initial purchase within the period that you open it up. Some are great for balance transfers, but I wouldn't go into this trying to create more debt for yourself. I would go into it with the approach of paying the expenses that you already pay, so like your groceries, if you have to have a car, if you have rent, that kind of thing, and trying to milk cash back out of the things you already pay for, or gain points at a shop that you already shop at, like Sainsbury's, M&S, that kind of thing. And if you have, like, if you know a big purchase is coming up, like you're going for you're in industry, you're starting in first year, and this video has reached you, then you know you might need to buy a new laptop or something like that, then it would be great to get one of those big cards, big purchase cards as a welcome bonus. So those are different ways to be smarter with money. The other thing you can do as well is you can invest your money as well. That is a path. But the reason I only mention that as at the end is I would say investing is it's a long-term strategy, regardless of what people tell you. And so I know maybe a lot of people, when they want to watch this video, they're looking for ways that they can clear their overdraft fast. I would definitely say, you know, if you're in a big overdraft, investing probably isn't the best thing to do right now, and you should focus on getting a job. But like I said, you don't even have to do one of these things. You can combine all of them. So for example, if you're struggling to pay your overdraft, it takes a while to get a job, apply for a couple of jobs. While you're doing that, see if you can tutor some people, see if you can build an online resource, something like that, and then just take it from there. So while you're waiting to hear back from people, you're not just idle, and you've also created those long-term solutions, so you can kind of layer them up, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would definitely suggest that. And again, you might be watching this and go, oh, what a great idea, and now you go and apply for some credit cards and you just don't get approved. So you might be wondering why that is, and you might find out that you have a low credit score. So don't worry guys, I'm going to do another video about how to improve your credit score. I'm just going to do a couple of series. So this one is really focusing on financial, the other one's focusing on health, and yeah, so I would say that, you know, these topics, the reason why I talk about them, I wouldn't necessarily say like I'm a financial or like a fitness channel, but I would say that I'm really focused on developing people's well-being, and, you know, sharing things that have helped with myself. And I would definitely say, like, anyone can relate to this, that financial stress is definitely, like, it's a really big thing. It's a really huge, like, impact to people's mental health. So that's why I think it's really important to talk about this topic, especially university students or young people struggling to, like, climb up the ranks or get themselves out of debt when they've had a difficult start. And like I said, I'm not going to make this a fitness video, but a couple of times I have talked about some fitness or like diet things. I would say again, like, physical health is another cause of your stress and deterioration of your well-being. So that's why I focus on these topics, guys, just bringing you things that help me, and I wish someone had told me earlier. So hope you enjoyed that. Take care, peace out, follow for more amazing content, okay?